Hi, decided to come on today and show you what I've done with some of my extra paper from the You and Me collection. I used so much of it on the last folio that I made that I didn't really have enough for another. I probably can make a card or two, but so what I did was I decided to look at the images on the picture or on the paper and decide if I could use them for embellishments. And so there were a couple of them that I decided I could turn into some sort of embellishment, and thought it might be helpful for some of you to see how you could use your paper also. So if you have seen the You and Me collection, you'll know that one of the papers has an antique or vintage looking typewriter. And so what I did was I cut out the typewriter and I put some glitter on some of it to make it, well, sparkly, I guess. But so I put some glitter down here in this black spot here and then around the outside edge of the paper. And I thought that added a lot just by doing that. Well, then I had a little pearl bow and some real thin ribbon here and then a flower. And then I will put chipboard on the back and then place it as embellishments. And I like the chipboard just because it gives it some lift. You can also use foam dots or foam tape or whatever. So here's two purple ones. This one was the first one I tried actually, and you'll see that I put the glitter all over the paper, and I didn't like that as well. So I decided to back off and just do the edge. Here are my pink ones. But I thought you could put those on paper clips or clothespins. You could put them on a pocket in an album. I think that you'd be able to find a use for them somehow. And then here's the mint green ones. I ran out of the thin ribbon, so I just used white twine. So I thought I would just show you real quick how I put those together. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory by looking at it, but just in case, now I didn't have any more of the larger typewriters, I just have some of the smaller ones. So there was a border paper that had bigger typewriters. These smaller ones were just on the back of the piece of paper. It wasn't a border, so that's why they're smaller. So they come in pink, green, like a yellowy gold, and a purple. And so I just thought I'd put one together real quick just to show you how fast you can come up with an embellishment. So the first thing I did was I got the old art glitter glue out, and here is a cream sheet of paper that I just used so that when I have extra glitter I can shake it off easier back into the container. So let's see, what color will I do? Let's do a pink one to start with, I guess. And so I did the glitter first, and all I did was put a thin line of glitter. Now I gotta make sure that my glue's unclogged. So I just went around. I needed my glasses on. Ooh, I can't see. You want to get as even a line as you can. And because I don't have my glasses on, I cannot see. Wow, I'm really shaky. And then in here, just put a coating of that glitter glue, and it will dry clear. And down at the bottom, there's a lighter piece. Like so. Make sure it's on there evenly. Okay. And then I have some glitter. And I'm just going to sprinkle a bunch on. You don't want to waste any, so that's why I have the paper below it. Now, what's this stupid? This is not what I thought it was. I need to get, oh shoot. Okay. Okay, so there it is with glitter, and I'm going to let that dry. I'll go ahead and do the next one. I'm going to do the green one too while I have all this stuff out. And I put my glasses on, so that should help a little bit. So I'm just going to go through and put a thin line along the paper. Inside of the black, looks like a semicircle. And along the bottom. Okay. Go ahead and dump some more glitter on there. This time I'll hold it, it'll be easier to work with. Okay, so there it is with the glitter. I don't know if you're able to see it, but I'm going to set that to dry. I'm going to put my glitter back into the container. Oh, I just got glitter all over. So because these are so small, I had to find really small flowers, and I just happened to have some in my stash. So I have a green with a yellow center and a pink, so I'm going to use those. And I'll just snip off a little piece here. I'll do that on the pink, and this green one for the mint green. And I have this pink bow. I guess I could use that. I had made it earlier. It was just, look at how tiny, it's just a real thin piece of thread. So I could put this on the pink. That's what I'll do. And so I just need something for the green. I have some of that white thread, or it's not thread, but I wouldn't really call it twine. It's not jute. I don't know what I'd call it. And I'm going to tie a bow, and it's got to be pretty small, because these typewriters are smaller than the examples I showed you. Okay, pull tight. And I'm going to go ahead and trim that. Alright, so there is another piece that I did add. You'll notice on these, they all have like a pearl heart or a bow in the upper right hand corner. This one has like a flower from some trim that I have. So let me see. Because these are smaller typewriters, I have another heart. This one I haven't glittered, so I can kind of tell. That's pretty big on there. But if I have it hanging off a little bit, that might be okay. I think I'll do that. So I'll use a heart on one, and let's see, I know I have more of those little bows, and I also, here's a little bow. Let's see what that looks like on the small one. Just hanging off the side. That's the little bow. I'll do one of each. Okay, so those are the only pieces I'm going to add to the paper, and it's going to make a cute embellishment. Now, the art glitter glue does dry fast, but it was a little bit thicker, so I'm not sure if it'll be ready, but I'm going to try it. Let's see, I did the pink one first, so let's see if I can work with it without screwing it up. Move those out of the way. Let me see if I can zoom in for you so you can see where, hold on, come on. Is that a little bit better? Can you see that? Let's see. Hopefully that's okay. Alright, so all I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on the back of the flower. You can use hot glue if you want, whatever. And I'm just going to stick it a little bit above that glitter. And then I'm going to place a little bit of glue right here. I'm going to stick this real tiny bow right. Oopsie. Come on. So tiny. Sticking to my, there we go. Okay, so there's the pink bow on there. And then now I just need to put glue on half of the heart because the other half is going to hang off of the typewriter. And a lot of times I am a person who buys pre-made embellishments, so I think if you have some made ahead of time, it just makes it a little bit easier and it's a little bit more economical. So there's that little typewriter, and then I'll do the green one. They're still a little bit wet, but I can work with it. So I do the flower first in the corner. Just added a little bit of glue. And if you leave it alone, it'll dry just fine. If you kind of mess with it, it won't stay in place, obviously. Okay. Put the bow right underneath there. And then glue on just half of the bow so that the other half is off the side. So you can kind of look to see what you have in your stash that you can use that matches the paper collection. And I don't like how that flower is off on the side. Alright, so let me move this to the side and let it dry. So there's that one. I hope you can see it. It feels really dark in my room today. I don't know why. Let's see if I can add a little light here. I'm still trying to get used to this camera. I just what do you call it? Updated the software and it looks different, so it's kind of weird to me. Maybe that's a little bit better. Okay, so then the next thing I made was this little frame, and I'll show you the die I use, but these swans I cut out of the You and Me paper, and this is a sticker from the collection. Okay, so let me show you. The die that I use is a Tim Holtz die, and it's a frame, and it's called Ornate Frame number 2. So I cut one of those out. I don't know if you can see that. And I used kind of a off-white sparkly paper. This is the Authentique Spectrum. I did add some glitter to the heart, and then I have a punch. This is the punch I use for this little bow right here, and I have a little flat back rhinestone, and I thought that would be good on a pocket, like or even on the cover. It could be for the front of a card or something. Just wanted to use up what I had again, so let me show you what I'm going to do with that one. It's pretty self-explanatory, I think, once you see it, but I punched out one of the frames, and see it, I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of shiny and sparkly. And so next I need to, this black piece is the size of the center, so you can't glue it because it's the same exact size as the hole. So what I did on the other one is I just put some glue on the back of the black and cut a little bit. I put it on another piece of paper and just left a real tiny border so that I could attach that to the frame. So let me show you what I'm talking about, because I don't want to see the paper through the frame, the back of it. So see, you can see I have a little bit of a border, so that's where I'll put my glue so that it will attach to the frame and you won't be able to see it. Okay, so let me do that. Just a real thin, don't need much. And one more side here. Okay. And I'll just lay that on my board and place the frame in the right spot. Okay, like so. And I'm going to go ahead and turn that over and burnish it just to make sure it stays, I got it on good enough. If I got some oozing glue, it'll dry and you won't even see it. I did that on the other one too. Ooh, got my board all gross. Okay, so now we have that, and once again I cut out the swans from the paper collection. I did put some glitter on it just like I did on the typewriters, so I'm just going to glue that down on the near the center. Okay. And I did that one earlier just so that the glitter would dry. Okay. So I did not have another one of these flags from the sticker collection because I used it on this one. So I did mount that on black paper, and I did the same thing for the stickers I chose. So I wanted it to be a little bit bigger than just a flower because I didn't think that was enough. So I went ahead and I did this February 14th. It was a sticker from the collection. And then I have this flower that I gotta play with it a little bit and see. And I have this flower. That looks like too much. Like so maybe. Let's see what it looks like without that. Maybe I like it just like that instead. I think I'll do that. And I have a friend who got engaged, so I could always make, I mean, not that she's my Valentine, but I could give her a Valentine, and I don't know if that has to do with her being engaged. It just came to my head. So I kind of take my paper piercer and I punched the bow from that punch I showed you. It's a Fiskars, so I just kind of roll it to make it easier. Oh, sorry, to make it easier to work with. Okay, and I'll add some glue here and here, and bring them down toward the center. You got to hold them for a second. And that's going to go on top of this right here. See, this is really small. I like this. I was looking for the Martha Stewart punch, the bow punch, because I really like that one too. But I haven't had luck, and I haven't found one yet. So, a little glue here. Put your bow on top. Try and center it. You might need to hold it for a second or two. Okay. And I'm going to put some glue on the back so I can adhere it catty corner. Right here. And then I have these flat back little rhinestone thingies. It's kind of a pink color. I don't know if you can see that it's pink, but, and then, oh, this glue is all over. I'll put some glue on the back of that and just stick it on there. And then I have another embellishment. Pushing it down just for a second here. Oh, I forgot to glue these down, didn't I? Huh. But they go really fast. So if I make them ahead of time, I'm more apt to use my paper rather than go out and buy stuff. So there's my February 14th. I'm trying to decide, do I use this one? Or do I like this? I think I like the other flower, even though it's purple. Well, maybe I don't. Well, yes, I do. It'll work. I'm not going to be picky. And then let's just overlap that a little bit. And so there is, oh, I should have put that on pop dots, shouldn't I? Well, I could always take it off and do that. Nope, I cannot. I need some dimension though on this corner. So let me see. No. That was dumb of me not to. What if I put something on there? Oh goodness, I'll have to figure something out off camera. See, I bought all these. I live in Nebraska, and the Oriental Trading is here, and they sell all these foam dots, or these pop, oh, what are they called? Just foam something or other, the glue squares, but they don't have very much adhesive. They don't have much stick. So I have a ton of them, but I just add some of the glitter glue to them, and then they stick much better. So yeah, it needs to be popped because I really like that one much better than this one. But it's done now, so I'll think of something later. And then the last thing I decided when you have extra paper is just to make like a kind of like a collage. So I cut out one of the cut-aparts, had a ticket on it. So I just cut around the ticket, added some enamel dots, and then this was a sticker, and I put it on black paper, and I did go around my edges with black soot ink. So I thought this could be coming off like so. And then this was a sticker, and I mounted it on black paper, and I had to trim it a little bit. So I don't want to cover up the XO. I don't care if I cover up this word I, because like so maybe. And then I have a little bit of a wedding applique. And then this flower could kind of go here. I have some seam binding that could hang off the side. And then I cut these out. These were from the paper. One of the pages had some, they're like a purpley gray. So I thought, well, I could add that in the corner. I don't like the purple on there now that I look at it. And I think this needs to be scooted in more. Like so. So I like that look. And then you could just put that on a pocket also. So let me start gluing that down. So you just kind of have to play with your, the different things that you have and start layering and until you're happy with what you see. And I have a lot of stuff in my stash. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know where it all comes from. But I do have a lot. So let's see, about right there, I think. Just push that down. And then this will be next, like so. Now this could also, I could raise this up. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see what that turns out like. So I have these, I'll put what, 2, I'll use 3 of them. So I gotta see where I want. So I'll put one here, here, and probably right there. So when I take this off, this is where I add extra glue because it's not as sticky as I want. And I don't know if I've been getting off camera, being as I zoomed in, I haven't been paying attention. I might be going out of frame, so I apologize. Okay, so I don't care if I cover up the eye. Okay. And next I'll add a little bit of the wedding applique. Just enough to keep it down. It's okay if it has some edges that come up. Okay. You can kind of see the L. I kind of covered that, didn't I? I'm in too big of a hurry. Okay, and then this will go, I want to be able to see the wedding applique. Do I want that over here? and then the bow like so. Do I want the bow up here? I think that's how I'll do it. Can't really tell it's a ticket if I cover up the bottom, but I guess it doesn't matter. Do I want it up here? And then the bow. Do I like that? I don't think I do. But I feel like that's too empty compared to... what about that? You know what? I think that might be the route I go. You might be on the other end watching this going, no, I don't like it that way. Put it on the other. Got to make up my mind and act on it. Okay. Give it a second to dry, at least to stick. And then the seam binding I got wet and then crinkled. And it shouldn't need much glue. And I'm just going to lift that up, push it down underneath the flower. And there we go. That's that one. And I just think that that's good for adding a little decoration, or if as a card. Now this is the paper that I use for the glitter, but if this were my card, and then you just put something like this on the front, I think that would be adorable. So anyway, I decided to come on and show you some of my ideas on how you can use your paper in a little bit different way. I'm sure all of you have some ideas that you can that you use with your extra paper, but I'm not that good with remembering to make my embellishments, and I decided to sit down and actually get to it and make some. So I'll show them to you all together. Let me zoom back out. I really don't like... Nope, that's not what I wanted. Sorry. I don't like this update very well. I knew where everything was before, but... Okay. So there's those. And then we have the typewriters. And let's see. There you go. Pink. And some pink. And here's the little tiny one I just made. And here's the little pink tiny one I just made. So now I have some ready to go. If I do a swap, I can put them on a paper clip or a clothespin, put them in some really cute decorative, you know, to send it in a Happy Mail, put it in some cellophane, like a cellophane bag, and have a bag topper. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you have any ideas for me, or if you've made some embellishments that you think other people would benefit from, let me know, and I can go ahead and give it a shot and make some and put them on, make another video and show what your ideas were. So, all right, I'm babbling, so I better go. Talk to you later. Thanks, guys.